Washboard Union, thanks very much, guys, for being here. First thing I should tell you is you're kind of new to CKNX listeners. Just in the last couple of weeks, we've been kind of changing up the music a little bit, and I was looking for some new music to add. Discovered Washboard Union, went through your catalog, and thought this is exactly the sound that CKNX is going for. So to kind of introduce you guys to our audience, first we should, as with any good story, you start at the beginning. So how did the band start? I know two of you are stepbrothers, and that's kind of how you met.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, what song are you playing right now?
So we've got about 8 or 9 that have all been added into our rotation right away. Band T-shirt, we've got that. Like pretty much everything that was a hit that fits the sound that we have on CKNX, which is it's an older sound. It's more of that traditional country sound, but for a bunch of guys from BC in the Vancouver area, it's an interesting sound because you don't quite hear that coming out of BC these days.
Yeah, at first we were sort of a round peg in a square hole. Square peg in a round hole? What's that expression?
Yes.
Something like that.
Parallelogram.
But yeah, we kind of had a sound even back then, going back maybe a decade now, where we're a bit of a more rootsy sounding, and it's sort of funny how things circle and come back eventually as well, right? So it makes perfect sense that it's coming to your station right now. But glad you found it. Listeners, thanks for listening. Yeah, a little bit about us. Chris and I grew up when we were 13 years old. Our parents got together, and we were kind of grew up as stepbrothers and went camping together and went to school together and dropped out of school together and
Arrested together.
Yeah, and so
all the learning experiences, yeah.
But so we had a bunch of other things that kind of happened. We met David along the way there, and he had a really super high voice in this band that he used to play in with like a metal grinder on a rebar on a mic stand and sparks flying. We're like, this is the guy. We got to do something together. So kind of to make a very, very long story short, we got together and started writing this kind of music together in the sort of vein of bluegrassy, 3-part harmony and roots instruments, and formed the Washboard Union, and then sort of history kind of took over from there. And once the popularity of the band kind of grew larger than what we were sort of telling our friends and family to come out to shows, it grew into this big monster. And so we're actually now headed down to Australia this October to go play in a different continent, and we've been overseas down south, and it's really taken us to a lot of different places that some we've seen before, but a lot of new places as well.
Yeah, I saw that, or I read that you guys just signed the deal in Australia. Have you been there before, or is this going to be the first time that you're ever there as a band?
As a band, it'll be the first time we've ever been there before. I've got some family down in Australia, so I've been a number of times to Australia. So it'll be nice to kind of reconnect with them down there. But it's the first time the boys have been down there, so looking forward to showing them some of the old haunts.
Yeah. Looking forward to seeing all kinds of things that can kill you, the bugs and animals, and just danger around every corner.
I heard you can't kiss the spiders. That's all they said.
That's
Don't
good
kiss
advice.
The spiders.
Yeah. If they stay in their lane, I'll stay in mine,
That's
and we
right.
just avoid each
That's
other.
right. Yeah. You've been down there a bunch. We're excited about going down. Yeah, we just signed a deal with ABC, and we're going to get down there for the first time and have some fun.
And how long are you planning to spend down under?
I'll be there for 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be a good haul. But
We'll miss you.
Yeah, right. I'm going to prison there, so. We're going to go down for 3 weeks, a month kind of thing, and play a bunch of shows. And it's a long way to go, so you might as well play a bunch of shows when you're down there.
Now, you've had a lot of honors, a lot of recognition. Awards have been won since you guys kind of officially hit the scene together as a band. What's kind of been one of the biggest ones that you've gotten that you were almost shocked, like, oh, wow, I can't believe that we're in this conversation or we're in the mix with all these other talented artists?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think that we're shocked and astonished every time it happens, and everyone carries its own special meaning. I think growing up as diehard music fans, anytime you join the Juno Award-winning family, because all our favorite bands were Juno Award winners, I think that was extra special for us. We were the first country band ever to win Breakthrough Group of the Year, and I think that will always be really important to us. But we've been blessed along the way to win a lot of Canadian Country Music Awards, which has been incredible, because behind the band is a whole bunch of people that you never meet who work really hard on Team Washboard. And so when those awards come in, it's a win for the family, and we love that because they work very hard for us behind the scenes. So.
The music scene in Canada already, it's a pretty close, tight-knit scene to begin with. And, of course, you're going to bump into all kinds of different other bands and artists when you're out on tour. Paths are going to cross all the time. Are there any groups or artists that you guys have kind of made a real friendship with, a real bond with, that if you happen to be on the same bill at the same festival, you're always happy to see them?
I think we all have those, and the guys will tell you theirs. But I will tell you that walking in here this afternoon to Lucknow and bumping into our old friend Neil Towns always warms my heart a little bit to see her and to catch up. But yeah, the greatest thing is seeing your friends backstage. It's like country music summer camp.
Any band or bonds or friends that you've made on the road?
It's funny. A lot of the misconception of playing with other artists on the bills is that oftentimes the schedules are such that we're on stage and then we have to go somewhere else, or they're on stage and they've got to go somewhere else. And so the relationships are quite, excuse me, not fleeting as in the relationship, but the time you get to spend with these people backstage, it's kind of a misnomer. You think, oh, we're all just partying backstage. And sometimes that's the case, but often the times you're just passing through. And you play your show, and then they're going on stage, and we're warming up while our friends are on stage. So we can hear them while we're warming up, and then they're off, and then we're on, and they're off to their next gig or off to the airport to go get to somewhere else. So I find the award shows at the end of the year are a really good place to kind of catch up with, the Dean Brodies of the world,
right,
and say hi and catch a drink in a bar for 10 minutes and catch up and see how the summer's been. And I find that really enjoyable.
Nice.
Yeah.
We when we first started and we were coming up through the country festivals, we played with a bunch of guys that were in the kind of like the indie rock world, and I'll never forget them coming up to us saying, wow, when you guys meet other bands, you guys all give each other big hugs and you're all friends and you're actually asking how your families are, and they're like, it's so different than the world that they come from, and we just thought, well, that's really cool. And it is like a huge family, like it's massive, and it's great because each province has their own country music association, so they all have their own little family, and then we come together for the CCMAs and get that big year-end thing. So yeah, it's really, really cool.
I was going to ask you too about the about country music in general right now as a scene, because it seems like country it goes through waves, almost maybe like every 25 years, where it becomes like the most popular format of music. And I think, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we're kind of at that moment right now that it's really coming back, especially the traditional sound, maybe more of kind of what you guys do of like a bluegrass roots kind of a sound. That seems to be really coming through and filtering to the top right now.
Yeah, it's having a moment for sure. And all those sounds have always been there. It's just now it's kind of rising to the top, right? And people are much more accepting of different sounds now in country music, whereas 15 years ago, 10 years ago, it was like, no, you have to be this way or you have to be this way. But now it's way more open. So you're just hearing all these sounds that have always been there, and they're just coming to the top. So it's an interesting time. What do you think, Aaron?
Yeah, I agree. But I also feel like those new other subgenres of country music have opened up large audiences. In the the hip hop, for example, or genres that like where the bro country kind of came out of, with more produced beats and 808s and that kind of produced stuff, brought in a different demographic and a different character into country music, which just makes the family bigger. So then they're opened up to new music by hearing music on your station, and it's really about the song, and it's really about the connection there. So if that song can make that connection with the people, then the people end up loving it.
It is kind of amazing the crossover nature right now of country, especially to pop, because in addition to running the country station, I also run the Hot AC station. And of course, there's always at least one or two in the top 40. Morgan Wallen right now with Tate McRae is shooting up the chart. He seems to know how to play in both worlds really well.
Sure does.
Something cool I read about you guys is that not too long ago, the band appeared as themselves on an episode of Tracker on a TV show. What was that like? Was that the first TV experience for the band outside, of course, of like award shows and music videos? To be on like a TV show, was that the first experience?
Well, they've certainly used our music in the past on TV shows. I mean, it's funny. I'll be at home and like Ice Road Truckers will come on and be like, "Why did I know that damn song?" And realize it's us. So there's some shows that certainly have used our music, but yeah, appearing in Tracker, which was really cool because we got a call out of the blue from a friend in LA who said the director of this show that none of the three of us had even seen is a huge fan of you guys. And if you're available, we'd like to put you on an upcoming episode. We'd like to license a couple songs. So we were thrilled, but after the phone call, when we talked about it, I'm sure it was only a few days before they were calling and we were on set within a week.
Wow.
Playing ourselves in a bar and meeting Justin and the team, and it was an absolute blast. So we turned out to be pretty good at playing us. So
is it more intimidating to be on a TV show with cameras and production crew around, or more intimidating to be on stage in front of like 20,000, 30,000 people?
I find myself fascinated. Aaron's got a lot more experience being on TV sets than the other two of us, but I find myself being fascinated at how they bring it to life. Like there's somebody for every single job. You know, Washboard taking the stage does not take near the amount of people of that. I guess when you think about the stage and all that stuff, but it's really remarkable how they bring it all to life. And so I'm more fascinated by being there and looking around and asking people what they do than anything. But yeah, it was a great experience. We had a lot of fun.
Nice. I'll ask you about what the future holds. Obviously, we know that you guys are taking off to Australia for a bit. New album coming out? Anything new music in the works?
David, take this one away.
Yeah, that's one of our favorite parts of the whole thing that we do is writing songs, and then you get to take those songs that you write over the year and go in the studio and record them, and then release an album. So we have new music coming out in October, and for a band that is it's like a new starting block. So you get to redo everything over the year. So yeah.
All right. Well, I do have a few more questions, but there's a knock on the door, and I know the next media group is coming in. And guys, I really just want to say how much I appreciate your time, appreciate you guys being here.
Absolutely.
I know the CKNX audience appreciates having something new to listen to in the Washboard Union. So thank you so much for being here at Music in the Fields, and thanks so much for taking the time to chat with us.
Our pleasure, and don't kiss the spiders.
Definitely.
Thanks, JC, and thanks to your listeners.